Hey, family, do I have to do my song? 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 Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. 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 Show. Do I have to do my song? I have to do my song. Do I have to do my song? Do I have to do do somebody gotta write me some beats. Do I have to do my song? Do I have to do my song? Boom, 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 boom. I'm so dumb. Hey family. This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Excuse me. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. And then sometimes I like to add a little boom, 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 boom. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Now, y'all know when I'm out, right? A lot of people that come up to me, they start singing Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show. Let me I came on right because I'll be leaving out probably about 10:30, which I have to go to parole and probation. So I am on my restream and I am on my TikTok. And right now, because I'm on probation for being guilty by association, right? For some stuff I didn't do. For some stuff I didn't do. But I just want to say this, y'all. I have been experiencing some hell of a stuff, for the last, I'm going to say 2 years. March the 12th of 2023, this white street police officer and a white female detective. The white police officer charged me with 14 fake charges in a false police report. The detective got mad at me because she was asking me questions. And y'all know I'm Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation show, right? So I don't do yes or no real good. I said one day when I grow up, I might just do yes or no. Because if you ask me a question, in my mind, I have an answer. And that answer might be like 3 minutes. And the detective was asking me questions. And I was doing what I do, talk, explaining stuff. What's up, OG? But anyway, she said, that's all you got to do is say yes or no. I said, no, I won't. You asked a question, I was answering it. So I'm trying to get better with just saying yes or no, because y'all like to control the narrative, which I understood. It was exciting to me because I look at them on TV and stuff and how they play your brain and get you to say little stuff that you didn't really mean to say that they can use against you. Well, that's what they did with me. So anyway, that's why I am on parole and probation, because what happened was the lady, the street police, right? He did 14 charges. He charged me with home invasion, burglary, armed robbery, and assault. Home invasion, home invasion, burglary, armed robbery, and assault. Home invasion, right? On my own rental property and business. I said, how in the hell you do that? Nobody answered me. I didn't get a chance to talk to a judge and say, Your Honor, that was my business. So I didn't get a chance. So basically, to make a long story short, they kidnapped my big mouth tail and hid me. You got to mute up. It's loud in the back. So I'm dealing with that right now, right? Basically, I call myself pleading guilty. But when my lawyer said something about a plead guilty thing, I said, why? Because I didn't do nothing wrong. So basically, the way he explained it to me is like, we know you didn't do that, but they couldn't find me on nothing. So when I say this, I'm not being smart. I did not understand what oppression meant until that white street police did what he did, and the lady, right? I'm sorry, the detective. What's up, bro? I did not realize it, and when I went into Zephaniah and I started reading that, it's like God guided me there, and He helped me to understand and see how people, and listen to what I'm saying, with power can oppress people. I was getting ready to say power. When I meant the word power, I was trying to tie in enslaved and oppressed people. Now, and I want to say this to y'all that's on my Facebook page. And the reason why he came on, because I want to address this issue with Miss Deborah. Okay? OG, the police came to the building 908. It's loud in the back. They came to the building 908. And Tashawn told me that they had a warrant for somebody else. Guess who it was for? Me. Now I'm trying to figure out what I do. Well, I think they was coming to serve me some papers, that's all. But I'm on my way because I got to go to parole and probation. Now I got to sit here and explain to this woman all this stuff going on. Now, the reason why I'm getting to this, y'all, I have a temporary housing program. I have a temporary housing program in Baltimore City. I help the homeless and the less fortunate people. The woman that I was renting the building from, she's the landlord. She ain't had no clients in this building. Matter of fact, because I want her daughter to focus on this, sis, and I said, oh my God, I just prayed on this. I just prayed not to go like that. Well, let me bougie down some. I prayed. Wait a minute. Let me. All right. Because y'all know I get pumped. And when I get pumped, I'm a big mouth boy, black dude. I'm a community activist. I'm a human rights advocate. I'm a homeless advocate. So when I go, I go. It's not personal. It's when I go, I go. So just to please a lot of y'all, I want to be bougie. I don't know how long it may last. Pray for me. Pray for me. Pray for me. I got my coffee in one hand. I got my Diet Pepsi in the other hand. I don't know why. A lot of y'all know me in Baltimore City. I'm a member of the ACLU, member of Communities United. I just haven't been active with Communities United like I used to be. So the Innocent Project, they send me stuff about certain things, so we communicate like that. I'm not in the streets traveling like I used to, because like OG and them told me, focus more on the business side of stuff. Now, Marlo, I know you don't mind me saying this. Marlo Hargrove is another business partner of mine. That's the one with the FACE organization. He worked with ex-offenders, returning citizens, and felons. He met Charm City, and because Marlo do housing, right, for the ex-offenders and stuff like that. So he ended up meeting with Charm City, and to make a long story short, Deborah, you and your daughter didn't have your stuff in order. Oh, that kind of rhymed, didn't it? Deborah, you and your daughter didn't have your stuff in order. So Marlo reached out to me towards the housing part of things. And he said, Steve, I want us to team up. No problem. That's my church member. That's my spiritual brother. And he said this, because I'm the big mouth boy black dude. He said, you know, when people find out that we teamed up, they're going to be mad. I said, I know, because y'all don't like me. Here in Baltimore City, another black man. Y'all don't like me. So I said, I know, because of the way I come, the way I do stuff. I'm not a wussy, okay? So anyway, I said, all right, no problem. So Marlo and I hooked up because the goal in his program, just men. I deal with women and children. I deal, Shamir, with women and children. Anytime, even with Christine Flowers, she deals with the men and the women. Anytime a woman needs a place with kids, she refer them to me. And if you look at my information, it will tell you I work with individuals and families. So the reason why Marlo introduced me to your mom is because Marlo normally just do men. He don't do women. And your mom lied, Samir, to Marlo to make Marlo think that he can get people into the building off of Medicaid. That was the first lie. Then she put a price on it, Shamir. Your mom said it was you, Shamir, said you wanted $700 per bed. I told your mom let me go back a little bit because I don't want nobody to get lost. When Marlo introduced me to your mom, the reason why he introduced me to your mom, because your mother wanted women in the building. Marlo don't deal with women. So that's why he introduced me to your mom, because I do women and children. And I do men too. So he figured I can help y'all in that way, Shamir. Okay? So a lot of y'all that's on the Couch Conversation show, let me say this. This is my broadcast network. Okay? So you don't have to go and say, Mr. Copeland was on the live talk. This is my broadcast network. I stream to 8 platforms. So this message is on YouTube. It's on Twitch right now. It's on Twitter, the X thing. It's on 2 of my Facebook pages. It's on LinkedIn. It's on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok right here, and I'm TikToking over here. So I want y'all to get their attention. Because number one, I'm the big mouth bald-head black dude. Now, I want to do this just in case when I go over to parole and probation and they scoop me off. I'm like, wow, what'd I do? Oh, with your big mouth. That's what the Eastern District Police Department did to me. 2 white people. Now I got my own black people coming for me. Your mother, Jenky Wonka Wonka. That's a goddamn shame. I got my own people. It ain't the white man this time. But guess what? I don't understand y'all. Tell y'all, I got 32 years clean. I use my experience in helping other people turn their lives around. Got ordained deacon in 2009. Got a spiritual relationship with God. And y'all will look at me like I'm one of the learnedest black, bald-head, big mouth dude. I don't rob. I don't steal. I don't take. I don't sell my body like I used to. I used to run a lot. But y'all will make, I don't know what's in the water. Y'all will make me feel like I'm the worst ever walked this earth. No matter how I tell y'all I did kinship foster care, how I mentor children, young men, I am a piece of trash to y'all. And what hurts me more, a lot of y'all that I have done rallies with, a lot of y'all that I have done protesters with, a lot of y'all know how we fought to get the eye in the sky here to reduce the unalive rate in Baltimore City. I spoke out for us to get the $15 minimum wage passed. I don't get it. And this is my city. I'm talking about Baltimore is my home. I'm 63 years old. I ain't trying to go nowhere. I just want us to get out of that #1 slot for being the worst city, to go visit. But a lot of y'all must like that #1 slot. I don't. And me and a lot of others. I just run off in my mouth. A lot of them tend to hide. But let me go back to this here. All jokes aside, if you look in Shamir, I just want to say this. When I found out that y'all didn't have nobody in this building, now it was only 3 people in the building. Only one person was paying your mother in this big old building. So your mother was kicking out money for people that weren't even in the building. So that was one of the reasons, Shamir, I came to work with your mother. So the money y'all pay each month for the spot, y'all ain't had no way of putting it back. So now here comes Steve Copeland with strengthening the community. That goes to show you how black people work with each other. Ooh, I almost said my favorite word. But I came in, Shamir, to help you and your mom put the money back y'all was losing. Y'all did me a huge favor. When y'all allowed me to come in there with my program, that stopped me from having to go and rent about 10 houses to put my clients in. It was all in one spot. I kept asking your mother, Shamir, let me meet you so I can let y'all know I got y'all back, blah, 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 blah. You was either in Africa or you went to Hawaii or you was up on Elon Musk spaceship somewhere. Because I really didn't know you exist till other people told me that we all work with. Right? Shamir, you hear me? I didn't know. I kept asking your mother, I wanted to meet you to let you know I got y'all back. She ain't tell you that, did she? Now, mind you, she gave me the keys to come in the building. I was honored. But then she said she didn't know I was in the building. That's what she told the Popo. I didn't even know he was here. I'm out there. I'm like, huh? And then she turned around and she yelled at me. And then she said, you can give me my keys. The police was shocked. He was like, huh? You just said you didn't know he was in the building. He ain't paid me no rent. Huh? And then she told the police I pay her. I said, what the fuck? What's wrong with this woman? And all of my staffs was right there looking at her like, shh, don't say nothing. She would say one thing, then she would flip it. I ain't trying to be smart, baby. Your mother was talking down on me like I was a piece of trash. I said, please don't do that. Please don't do that. She was verbally, mentally, and emotionally beating me down. And I had to tell her, I said, please do not do that. Because I was in an abusive marriage. She was belittling me as a man. And I had to scream at her for her to stop. Your mother. And guess what? You know your mother behavior, sis. You know your mother behavior. Because there was some other people that told me too when they reached out to me. She's a very challenging person. So you know we was throwing the hints. Because there was times I asked you, are you drinking? 1 minute, man, you cool. A couple of days later, you called me. It's like you flipped. And if you look in Shamir, because I wanted to do this real quick, baby. I had your mother on the phone. with one of my board members as your mother was doing this. She was coming for me. And I needed somebody to hear your mom. I called my healthcare provider because I wanted him to hear how your mother was coming for me. And she's supposed to be my Charm City healthcare provider. She's not practicing what she was putting out. So I called him, he didn't answer. So I called one of my board members and I said, listen, because she was gone. I wanted them to hear how she would cut me down. Verbally, mentally, emotionally. I was sitting in the office one day, Shamir. Your mother called again. I had about 3 staff members sitting there at that time. And I put your mother on speaker. I said, see what she doing? And I would have to ask her because I wasn't sure, but it kind of hit me because I know what I went through. And with my ex, where I had to walk away from. And I'm not talking bad about it. It's just certain people have certain behaviors that they don't address themselves, if you get me. I had to walk away from my wife and kids. And it took me back to all that. I'm not in a relationship with your mother, baby. Okay? She had no right talking to me like I'm her problem. But I realized, OG, I'm not her problem. The type of person I am, I recognize childhood trauma. Okay? And my goal is to help you learn to deal with that in the here and the now. My thing with that too, if you have not dealt with that baggage, and this is how I deal with people, try not to bring it into your new relationship. Now, we didn't have one. None of that, because I don't date women my age. And everybody that knows me knows I'm a handsome dude. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm a handsome dude. My ex-wife is 15 years younger than me. So I'm a handsome dude. My ex-wife, she don't weigh over 200 pounds. I don't deal with women my age, and I don't deal with women over 200 pounds. I never had a desire for them like that. My first wife, I'm 5 years older than her. And I'm going to tell you, I don't mix business and pleasure. I don't. And I'm not saying I know what was coming down the pipe, but I don't do that. So when I share certain things with people, they be like, how you know that? How you know that? Oh, you know. I ain't no kid. To let you know this Doug right here, I had a wife at home. And I had 8 on the side, women. To let you know a little bit about my history. When I come on my platform, it's about keeping it real. The only person I can talk about when I do is me. And if you come in my life and you interfere with a lot of stuff, mainly bring a bunch of chaos and confusion, I'm going to talk about certain things. Anybody that knows me and dealt with me or deal with me, they know I don't have, look, I talk about stuff. I just try not to use people's names from time to time. All right? Christina Flowers is a homeless advocate in Baltimore City. Christina Flowers is my baby. Not in the sense of being with each other. Me and her we done did many protests. We done did many rallies. She's a homeless advocate. Whenever she went to Africa, which her husband is here now, I made sure her assisted living housing program, because she has a building, everything was ran right. But you went running off at your mouth to somebody I'd already reached out to. And not only that, OG, I reached out to our Inspector General in Baltimore City. So happened somebody sent me some information with her and Christina talking. They was doing a news thing, but they was talking about how oh God, I got it right there. But I think they was cutting some funding or something for the homeless people. And then the Inspector General was talking, Isabel Cummings. I sent Isabel Cummings a message. I sent Coy McCray a message, Senator Coy McCray. Because of the issues that I'm having with you, sis, I did not want to do that. I did not want to do it. Even with Brandon Scott. I sent Brandon Scott something. I sent Ivan Bates something. Then on top of that, when me and Christine were talking the other day, the deputy of homeless services called. And I mean, she sent her email. I said I was trying to reach back out to the deputy of homeless services. She sent her email and she told her, she said that they have, as far as them being able to help, they full to capacity. No, they're not. That's just excuses that they say. But the whole goal is they starting to replace the people in the house. And I told Christine, I said, thanks. Because number one, I am looking at another building. And turned around last night, OG, I was talking to Wanda on the phone. And Wanda said, yeah, Miss Deborah said, you looking at a school building. She looks at my stuff. You look at my stuff and your daughter looking too. I ain't got no reason to lie on you, woman. I don't know you like that. It was just based on business. I was trying to help you and your daughter get the money back together that y'all was wasting. You came over there, all these women in the house, right? Some of them, you know, they deal with, they challenge mental vulnerable people. That's the word Christina used. They are vulnerable people. All the women in the house with children ran up to you, complaining about this, complaining about that. Now, mind you, I'm like daddy, but they ran up to you complaining about me, complaining about that. I don't deal with a lot of them one-on-one. I tell them they're out there, they smoking weed, they doing what they do. I tell them keep that chaos and confusion away from, don't bring it in the inside. Ask Wanda, ask Steve. I can't say ask Harry because Harry ain't down there like that. A lot of them cannot come and talk with me without one of them saying such and such want to talk to you, Steve. And I do not deal with women without another woman being there. So they can't go back and say, oh, he this, oh, he that. No, he did not. So I came on this early. I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little disappointed. I don't care in a way, right, if a lot of people like me or not. That's your business because you don't know me. And if you don't like because I do this, that's your business. And why would you hate against somebody that fight against the politicians and stuff that's not doing the necessary stuff they supposed to do for the people? Why would you get mad about that? I get more support when I run off in my mouth off of TikTok from time to time when I talk about stuff. I get more people on here that support me than I do in Baltimore City. That's a freaking shame. And y'all know I know a lot of y'all. Hey, Sean, y'all know I know a lot of y'all. I deal with a lot of y'all here in Baltimore City. And what makes me feel bad, right? Y'all won't stand up for your own city. I work with a lot of your children with grandkids that you don't want in your house. So I started a housing program so at least they have somewhere to lay their head until we can get them into something permanent. That's why y'all don't like it? They're not my kids, they're your kids. And your grandbabies that you don't want in your house. because you're grown adults being disrespectful. So now you want to take it out on the grandbabies too. And when the grandbabies come in my program, I like, come here. I be having some of them run off. So I'm like, bring your love. Trying to show them that love and stuff. If y'all mad at me because I bring your family in the house that you kick out and show them some tender love and care, bring them back in. Show me how much you're mad. Bring them back in the house. You scared. Because look, when they break bad with me, now mind you, I'm not their father or nothing like that, right? But when they break bad with me, mainly the women, Sean, look, the women, right? Because I look at them as my daughters. And when they break bad at me, I'll be like, you better not be talking to me like that. What is your goddamn problem? Don't make me go get my belt. They can be 30-something years old or 40. But that's my way of, building that trust back in them, trying to get them to be comfortable. That's what I do. Now, Shamir, are you looking, Shamir? When you charge $700 a bed, I told your mom that was too much. So, I was the one to meet her in the middle. I charge $500 a room. I charge $400 a bed if I'm doing share. 4, because I know they don't have a lot of money. But your greedy tail with the 700. Now that's what Camille would. So I met her in the middle, 6, to try to help cover your expenses. I asked your mother how much was the lease. She told me $16,000. That was way, way up. So I sat down and did a little thing where the way I added it, right, $36,000 a month. That's what the building being full to capacity with the BGE and the water bill. Because y'all paying the water bill. That's the landlord's responsibility, not yours. Okay? He suckered y'all. So anyway, my goal was to help you recover the money that y'all was putting out. But your mother lied to me. When I said something to the landlord, he said, your numbers are too high. I said, y'all trying to screw the people. I was trying to help you get back what you was putting out. He said it's too high. So I want to clear something up just a little bit, sis. And for a lot of y'all like to go say, Steve said, he said, that's why I came on this damn early. So y'all can start your he said, she said early in the morning. And that's all they got to do, come and ask me. Okay? I tell all y'all that. I'm known as the big my boy black dude. That's all you got to do is come on my goddamn show. I talk about every damn thing. The hell I got to lie for? Okay. Now, before I forget, because I'm getting old. Mila introduced me to your mom. Oh, she did not know that I dealt with children? Liar. Your mom introduced me to the owner. Oh, you didn't know? She told the police she didn't even know I was in there. And that's Mr. Stern building. Because of my wraparound service, OG, Mr. Stern want us to teach people how to be more responsible and productive and stuff. So they won't tear up his property. And they'll be taught how to pay their stuff on time. Boom! And this is what I told Christine Flowers. When we get ready to do the news thing, Mr. Stern is one of the real estate investors that has a lot properties. And then he gets, he's covered with hood housing. So now I ain't got to reach out to the director of HUD housing because it's right there with him. So the goal is to get people in on low income housing. Section 8. He was telling me he can even get people in Diet Pepsi time for free. Where Medicaid or SSI, all depends on where they at. I'm going to say disability wise. Let me say that. Right? That's why your mother thought she was going to be able to do that. So now I'm talking about Mr. Al. That's the blessing part. Because now he mentioned some more. Like, because that's what I was trying to get with HUD housing for, so that I can learn about the other programs they have other than Section 8, the low income housing. He mentioned a couple of more that will help pay for your expenses. I was like, ah! I'm telling y'all. Now, mind you, I do temporary to permanent. So, I'm going to show you, OG, the chaos and the confusion, right? And I just want to say this. Y'all play too goddamn much. Y'all going to give my clients 30 days to get about their building. You don't do that. You evict me, not them. I'm the one that deal with the lease with you, woman. And I want to share this, and I hope you look at Miss Lady. I am the tenant. Your mom is my landlord. Or you. Whether it was verbal or written, it's still a contract. That's what people's problem is. And the reason why I can share this with you, because we deal with housing. We deal with renters' rights. Renters do have rights. Okay? Number one, that is my business in that building. You're supposed to talk to me. You're supposed to talk to me, not my board members, not my neighbors. You talk to me. Okay? You sent some stuff to my clients. You wasn't supposed to have done it. You deal with me first, then you let me deal with them. You stepped across the line you should not have. That's why I told Christine Flowers when we do the news thing, I'm not gonna talk about Mr. Allen. I'm gonna talk about y'all. I'm gonna talk about y'all. You deal with me. Now check this out, OG. Because y'all gave all them other people in that building keys to the building, a lot of them females have their boyfriends living up in there now. Wanda was down there the other day. 2 girls jumped on Wanda. The building is out of control, Miss Deborah, because you putting your mouth in my stuff. Then I found out Wanda told what's your name to change the lock on the door, the front door, which was okay, because they trying to gain control back over that building, Deborah. Because I'm not down there, OG, be honest with you, if I step up in there, I'm going to have to call the National Guards. Deborah. I said, Wanda, when did this building got out of control like this? It wasn't like that when I was there. It wasn't until you put your mouth in it, Deborah, and coming up against me. I stepped away, and let me look at the time. I stepped away because you know I'm on probation. And the goal was not to deal with the police because I know my mouth. And it's not that I'm trying to be smart. When I talk, everybody think I'm being mean and nasty. And I didn't want them to look at me and be like, okay, we gonna lock you up. I know me. And it's not like when I do this right here, I mean any harm. That's how I go. What you want me to do? Kiss your butt? When I'm being me? Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. I ain't mean to act like that. That's why I tell a lot of y'all, if y'all don't like the way Steve Copeland is, bye. Don't come over and try to dictate my life. I grew to this place. I was a very shy guy. No, I wasn't. I never was shy. Never. No. I'm talking to Christina, right? And Christina, because I'm like, Christina, do you not calm down some? I'm not that person. Christina, I pray and I ask God. I did not want to come out as loud and bold as I used to. I think he adjusted a little bit. He's like, okay, Steve. Y'all still don't like it. I be like, God. But I am who I am. And that's what I had to realize. I'm a warrior for Christ. And I keep telling y'all, my mouth is my biggest weapon. And a lot of y'all don't get it. A lot of y'all be wanting to fix me. I be like, let me be me. Now, I'm going to tell you, if I was at a town hall meeting, something like that, or I'm speaking out like this, no. I would do and I would say certain things, but I add jokes to it. If you ever watch me speak, and if I come a certain way, I'm going to add a joke, right? But anyway, that's y'all bull crap. He talking down to me. He didn't. If you think I'm down in you, bite. Because it's not you. I'm just talking. But anyway. OG, that's not funny, but look. This one girl with the sling on her arm, her boyfriend came home from prison, right? He up in the house. He get mad at her. He gonna bring some other girls in there and they bank her. In the building. I said, oh my God, this building out of and ain't nobody calling me, telling me nothing. I said, what? I said, and OG, I'm mad. Because the only one, Steve, I'ma hurt you, bro. Steve, Tell, and Wanda, they trying to be friends with them because they trying to be friends with them and they not sticking to what I told them to do. They running amok over Steve and them. So told me some girl in the other room, I know she is, got a boyfriend in there that sells. I'm like, y'all just telling me this. Y'all just telling me this. And y'all supposed to be down there watching my building with my clients. But guess what? It's the ones that need the help the most. It's like about 5 females that start there. He say, she say, that one say, that one say it, right? And they all got bubbas. They all got bubbas. And they call her Miss Deborah. But Miss Deborah said, your kids got to go. I said, that's what y'all get. It ain't funny, y'all. It ain't funny. But I told Christine, I said, Christine, I said, help them, please. I said, help them. I said, help them. Hey, man, I said, help them, Christina. Right? Because I'm like, look, my name Bennett, and I ain't freaking getting in it. I said, y'all want to talk to Miss Deborah? That's not Deborah company. That's my company. Y'all gonna answer to her and talk to her, and I find out later. They done bust some holes in the wall. I said, what? reason why I'm laughing. The people I left was in control of letting them tear that damn building up. I'm like, you know what? And I ain't down there, right? I ain't down there. I stayed away for a reason. Not that I stayed away. I believe, be honest with you, this was God's way. Because I'm in there and I'm keeping the structure, stuff like that. But this was God's way of moving me out the way to see what the heck was really going on. So, Miss Deborah, you running off with your freaking mouth, woman. And you don't even know what the hell it is. And OG, I ain't trying to be smart, but that's what you get. I'm trying to get security in there 24 hours around the clock because you got to understand the type of people that I deal with. Some of them need meds. My little baby like this, right? She twitches. I went to call her last night. She ain't answer her phone because I wanted to say, girl, what you down there doing? Because her and the other girl jumped on one. I said, that's what y'all get for trying to be their friends. See, for me, keep in mind, because I'm more like daddy. All right? I'm dad. I'm unc. So the ones that, and this would, excuse me, was it Christina? What I have a tendency of doing, y'all, when y'all see me cry from the time that I do, because I feel sad for the people. And me and Christina was talking, and she said, Steve, sometimes the love that you give them or you display to them is something that they're not used to because of where they came from. And what I have to do with my clients, y'all, it's like winning their trust, trying to help them understand whatever pain or whatever they went through, trauma, stuff like that, it's okay now. So it takes a while for them to feel comfortable with you to be able to break down and, trust you. So because I have a tendency of doing that and they're not used to doing it, they're not used to getting it, sometimes it's hard for them to believe it. And that's what Christine was telling me. So if I come at them more as a disciplinary, right, I might remind them of, I'm going to say, that mother or father who probably was mean and nasty to them, but not realizing I'm not their problem. So it takes a while, like I said, to break that. And I already know. Because the point is, you want them to feel comfortable. And that's what I was telling the police last night. I'm sorry. Wham, that was on here, right? When we talked about, and Paul said something too. Paul used to be a police. I tell Brandon Scott no, and that's the mayor. I said the reason why a lot of our people act the way they do in the inner city, because they lost their faith and trust in y'all. I said you got to learn to win their faith and trust again. That's why a lot of people act out, because if you are a leader and you're not living by an example, I don't go down there dressing like a lot of the young men do with their clothes hanging and this and that. When I go, I'm more modest or conservative. So anybody that sees me compared to anybody that's over there, they know it's something different about this guy right here. I already know that because that's the tone I set. They'll know that whoever that is, he must be like the owner or somebody like that. They'll know because of the way you carry it. Even though y'all might look at me in a negative way, but when I'm on my stream talk, I feel free. My talk show, I feel free, and I feel like I can just be myself. I don't have to come on here and be fake and phony and all that. I don't have to. Now, I can't talk about nobody else. I can talk about me. I talk about me. And I'm going to tell you this too, just to show y'all how much I talk about me. Now, I come from that sugar daddy mob and all that type of stuff, you know, hormone foul, you know, none. And I can tell y'all, I retired. I can tell y'all this, which sometimes my ego might kick in the way. I ain't been with a woman in 6 years now, and I'm getting tired. I want some mookie boo. But guess what? I ain't in a big hurry. I want to start dating, going to the parks, going to the movies, going to dinner. The girl, you fine, you good. Don't give it to me too fast. Let me kind of beg a little bit. Wine you, dine you, all that type of stuff. I want to get back into that romantic thing. You know what I mean? I haven't experienced it in a while. So I don't want to just jump in. I can jump. That's not a problem. I can jump. I don't step across the line with dealing with the women that comes into my program. Even if, say like a 21-year-old or 22-year-old or something like that, and she got a baby, I have to make whoever come in my housing program feel comfortable. And what I mean in that sense, I'm not trying to go like that. I'm not, you here for help, and that's the way I'm gonna leave it. You try not to cross that line. And I can tell you this, I thank God for the years that I've been doing this, I have not stepped across that line. And I ran across some beautiful women. But if my mind goes a certain way, it's like, no. Because I have to remember, they're vulnerable. They're here for help. And I know me, because I will wine you and dine you. And I basically do that because if you need something, I'm going to watch out for you, you know, because if you come in and you don't have too much of anything, and you know your personals or whatever too, right? When you come in, and I won't have no problem in getting it. It ain't me. Calvin said, no, you know, it ain't me. And to be truthful with you, whoever destroyed it is left on the owner to get it fixed back up, to fix it back. And I'm glad you said that, Calvin. Because this is what I told Christine Flowers. She told me, I just thought about you. She said, look, because we was talking to I think she said the deputy director of homeless services. She said Brandon Scott probably called them and told him, send Christina such and such and such, right? Because she bust out laughing while we were talking. She said, wait a minute, hold, the director just sent me something. And I told her I was looking for the deputy director, because I had reached out to her on LinkedIn. And I was looking to reach back out to her again to let her know about this issue right here. I said, wait a minute. When I said whining and dining, did you hear me say I haven't been on a date? I mean, I haven't been with, you know, a woman in 6 years now. And when I said the whining and dining, I'm talking about like courting. I ain't talking about none of. See you taking it wrong. I'm not talking about nobody in my program. Don't be twisting stuff around, whatever, Marie Blank. No. If you listen to what I said I thank God. Because I know a lot of people have programs where they sleep with their, not me. So when I said the whining and dining, which you must have caught the tail end, right? Because whenever I meet somebody that I care for like that, you know, you want to go to dinner, movies, buy the flowers, you know, go through the walks in the parks and stuff like that. That's why I threw something when I said the wine and the dining. I might have to block you because you making me think you might be Devin under another name. The reason why I said business, you gotta listen. Listen. The reason why I said business, I started moving away from the business. That's where your mind. I started moving away from the business, talking about courting and dating, not somebody in the business program. I don't step across certain lines. And it showed me just now, and it's not to knock you because I know you probably don't understand clearly what I'm saying, but you don't want to get them two lines crossed, like business to dating somebody that you get me. That's what I was basically talking about. Now, remember, this is the Couch Conversation Show. This is the Couch Conversation Show. So if you're not used to coming up on the Couch Conversation Show, it's about keeping it real. What I gotta lie for? Huh? So if you're not, I'm just sharing that with you, Naya. If you're not familiar with that, this is the Couch Conversation Show. So it's about keeping it real. And when I talk about my personal life, that's part of me talking about my experience, my strengths, and my hopes. Yes, I share a lot about my personal life. So I can tell right now you're not used to coming up on my stuff, right? That's about keeping it real. That's the whole goal of why people don't understand me. Mainly when you're not used to being honest with yourself. When you used to lying and manipulating yourself and fooling yourself, I used to do all that. I used to do that. Sometimes I still do it. I'm 63, and I'll tell myself I'm 36. But it's my body. When I say I'm 36, it's my body that reminds me, boy, you better stop lying. You know, oop, that hurt. Oop, that hurt. But yeah, I was just trying to answer back to what you were saying, Naya. But that's one thing about me, and I realized some people just like when you say stuff like I wouldn't say this, I wouldn't do this. That's you. Keep in mind, everybody ain't like that. And I try to let people know when you get to that point of saying stuff like that, you comparing yourself. You ain't gotta do that. So because of the stuff that I talk about, and I'm just saying from what I'm looking at viewer wise and keeping it real, you don't get a lot of views. And it's not to say people not looking at you. It's just from what I see, if you bring a bunch of negative stuff, you might get people out the gang. But when it's about keeping it real, they might not show up as much. Because it's like a foreign language about being true to thyself. But now, Mike, I was trying to get back to something that you were saying. But look, I know you know who Christine Flower is, right? So a lot of people don't know. Even Christine don't know. When I go that way, that's how I met Christina. And Christina used to, she's a minister now, and she go out. So this what she was telling me. She was saying, Steve, when you do this and when you do that, you can't act like this, you can't act like that. I said, Christina, huh? I said, who you think I got it from? I had to remind her yesterday too. But now, mind you, when I was telling her this time, OG, by me going up the way I do, and I got it from her, now, I can tell you right now, in a sense, I ain't nothing like I used to be. And I know the difference in my spirit. I go up, but I'm not, I think because I understand more who I am. But I'll go up, and I was messing with Christina because some people don't see their own bullcrap. And this was my way of shutting down Jeff picking with her. I said, who you think I got it from? But the good part, and Christina's you looking, I love you. But the good part though, what I love on top of that, we're gonna have the chance to work together again. Hey, gorgeous baby. Hey, Steve. Steve. Kidney doctor. Kidney doctor. Let me stop. Ah. Let me say this, Steve. How can I put this? I'm not gonna touch it, okay? I can say this. One thing I can say, when it comes to let me say this. When it comes to, and this what I do love about it, when it comes to the homeless and the less fortunate people, she do not play. Now, how she play? She do not play. Um, that's one thing I love about her, right? That's just she don't play. She knows where the proper help is at for them. When I go back to robbing Peter to pay Paul, she don't play. So that was one of the reasons too I kind of backed up. Because you know, we all have our special way of doing things. It's a lot of people that they great. They do great work. And I backed up off a lot of them. But now, because of the work they do, they are connected with a lot of outside resources. Now, when it comes to Steve Copeland, I got to speak on Steve. When it comes to Steve Copeland and providing the services, I don't play, because it's the people first with me. Making sure they get the proper help that they need. Stop, Steve. Now, what I'm looking at, Steve, what I just said is the wraparound side, right? The outside resources is what I'm looking at. And that's one thing I know. She been into it for a long time, and that's why I admire what she did. Because she know how to push people to the proper help that they need. See, I got to remember I'm on TikTok. And don't forget, like I said, I'm on TikTok, but I'm on my Instagram stuff over here. So that's why for me, you know, when I say if you're doing certain things, and when I say that, anybody that's still living, and the best way I could put it, when I was living that corrupt lifestyle, right? And today, I don't live like that today. And for me, if I practice a lot of old stuff that I used to do, and I can only tell y'all how God worked with me, the Holy Spirit will tear my butt up. Will tear me up. My conscience it wouldn't be at peace. And that's more to me than anything else. Even with all of this stuff that's happening, Steve, and I'm talking about with the building and all this type of stuff, be honest, I'm waiting for Mr. Allen to call me. That's the owner. I'm waiting for him to call me. Because now, mind you, I'm not down there. Miss Deborah and Harry Mead went and brought extra keys to that front door. And I'm like, oh my God, why would y'all do that? Don't give them keys. And once they passed them out, boom. That's why I had to back up. I already knew it was going to go wild again. But guess what? And I'm just telling y'all the people that I'm dealing with. Now, mind you, I've not been down there since last Friday, when I had my board meeting. And like I said, the only reason why, Steve, because I know you know, I haven't been down there because by me being on parole and probation, I do not, even though I had to call the police on a client, right? But it was the negative stuff came after that. So for me, I don't want to be in nothing like I'm destroying something, or I don't know how they go with them. But I know to a degree, you're going to run into the police. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, but you can't duck it. That's life. But I was trying to stay out the way because it was too much stuff that was happening. And when I called the police, And I started realizing, Steve, no matter how I told them this is my business and I do this and I do that. So I'm not trying to break no laws. You get me? Steve Taylor, I'm gonna say your name. Turkey. I've been knowing Steve for like over 17 years now. Wanda, Harry Mead came in and they all started talking with Deborah. And everything started falling apart. Started falling apart. And I'm sitting up there, Steve, I know my man, Wanda. I said, let me tell you something. I was talking to Wanda last night. They ain't her or Steve, nobody telling me nothing about what's happening down that building. And they supposed to be my team. Now I do have another person there and somebody that's get ready to move forward. Christina get ready to move them forward. But they just calling me, asking me questions. But it's like 5 women with children that's running to Miss Deborah. I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's just their chaos and confusion. And those are the ones that Miss Deborah said she don't want no children in the building. I said, that's what y'all get. That's what you get. Miss Deborah might not want no children in the building, but my program, I deal with women and children. Miss Deborah's just like the landlord for me. She ain't had no business putting her mouth in my stuff. So now you got Harry, you got Wanda down there. All of them had meetings without me. It's falling apart. And Steve, to be honest with you, I think God had me step back because, I put a lot of work in stuff. But I was seeing what was happening and it was starting to get too powerful. And I had to back up. And I didn't tell y'all, Steve. I think I told OG. This young lady I just brought in. This is what I was told, OG. I had her in the room for her and her kids. So I come out another apartment area and this dude up there. Like, what the heck you doing in here? You ain't supposed to be up here. Well, long story short, he told me, I want to make sure my girl right. I wanted this and that, this and that. I said, I got her back. Because she reached out to me, not you. So anyway, big bounce dude. Me and him had a nice talk. The sucker flipped on me. Now, check this out. The floor this young lady was on. Why did Wanda turn around and get that girl that whole apartment? The girl changed the lock on the door. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 bedrooms up there, right? With 2, 3 beds in them. This girl then changed the lock. Well, actually, no, me. And it's not a subleasing. See, I'm subleasing from Deborah. So I'm like the tenant in the building with my business. But with my clients, if I put a mother and a child in a room by themselves because she wants $600 per bed, I'll just charge them $600 for that one room. So basically, in other words, it's like they renting a room. All right. But I know you said subleasing, but it's like renting a room. It's like if you in one of those boarding houses, you renting a room. But now in some of the rooms, she got 2, 3 beds in it. So she wants $600 per bed. Actually, I wasn't trying to get nothing. The reason why I say that, Steve, because what happened with me, rather than me renting, remember I was saying earlier, if I rented a house and they wanted $1,500 for it, right? I'm renting a house. And if it's had 4 or 5 bedrooms, I got to make sure that the rent is covered. That's just like us sharing a house together. That's all. Thank you, God. Thank you. If I rent a house and then I might bring in people to share the expenses with, that's basically how I'm doing here. I'll rent a property and we'll do the shared expenses. But now my name is on the lease because it's my business there. So it's just like a shared apartment or a house, and you might want a roomer, a roomer in to help you with your bills. It follows around that as well. And I'm trying my best to make it simple for some people that don't understand the transitional process or the temporary housing process. And understand this, mine is independent. So you have to have some type of funding because the goal is to bring you in and to help you move forward. And I say it over and over and over and over. Well, yeah, that's part of it too. Oh, Jerry, I ain't heard from you in a while. Sometimes, thank you, Steve, because you know what you just did. You just took me back to some of like the recovery houses, and they might have 4 or 5 beds in a room, and they charge you $300 per bed. Sometimes you can do that, and you might walk away with about 2,000 off of that one house. The profit, once you pay your BGE, all that type of stuff, right? You might walk away. But in my case, because I'm dealing with women and children, and I know they don't have that money like that, I have to charge you with me. I normally charge $500 a room. And that's for the women and the children. Now, if you're a guy or woman and you want your own room, I'm charging you $500 a room. So say like the BGE and all of that, the rent, BGE, cable stuff might run me on that house like 1,700 or 2,000. If it's 5 bedrooms, I can charge 500 per room. I'll walk away with 500 for that place. You caught it? Because the goal is to make sure everything, the expenses is paid first. So 9 times out of 10, when it comes to the rent and all that, I'll pay it. And then as my clients pay me, I just put my money right back. So I might walk away with 500 off it. But in my case too, Steve, because I'm doing certain things around the house to fix it up or whatever, I might not make much of nothing. But I'm all right with that because I'm making sure that people have a roof over their head. So it's not a fast thing for me. But some people, they do make good money. Mm-hmm. They make good money. Because I got a friend of mine, he do $650 per bed. If he got 2, 3 beds in a room, well, say 2. And that's $650 per bed. That's 12, 13. Twin bed, right? And if I have a family, husband and wife, that needs to go, he'll drop it down to 1,000. And that's still a lot. But that's how he run his stuff. I have a lady that I work with. She charged $900. But now her houses is more like down Fells Point for the room and stuff for apartment. But not a whole apartment. It's shared rooms. Or it's a room. But it's shared apartment. So a lot of y'all think Which 600 is a lot. Don't get it wrong. But there's people out there make good money for a room. They can charge you 1,100. You can have like a bathroom in it. You might have a little refrigerator in it. See, the whole thing is they fix it up like a little apartment, even though you have other people in there too. Even if you got a little stove or something, they can put a heating thing in there for you. They can charge you $1,500 for that one room. And once again, when you look at the homeless people that don't make that's not getting no income, and my housing program, be honest, I can't bring you in because I have to pay, the overhead and everything. As far as the rent, the BGE, stuff like that. So if you can't contribute to it, I can't bring you in. But now, being in this building, right, and the rooms are not completely full yet, I will work with you, but I can't keep doing it. I'll work with you only because the goal is to fix it where you can pay your way, or not to keep you too long. So it's to get you in, to have a roof over your head, and then try to get you, into working, because I got to do it quick. And some people you can't work with that fast. So some people I might bring in, and it all depends on their story sometimes too, where I'll bring you in and I'll just say, come on, because I got the space and it's empty. So it's like I can bring you in and work you towards, turning the quality of your life around. And as I move you out, I bring somebody else in, because this is how it goes. It's just like this. Now, throughout the day, I probably get about 5 or 6 phone calls. That's just the calls I'll get for somebody needing somewhere to go. Not only that, I can go on my email. I can go on certain little boxes and stuff. And it's always somebody needing help. So that's not a problem. That's never a problem. And then with this stuff Donald Trump and them doing, it's going to fill up even quicker. Yeah. It's a 13 apartment facility. That's just like if you have a regular house with 5 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. Just like with me, if I rent, for me, my goal is to rent 4 or 5 bedrooms. Now, if I rent 4 bedrooms in a house and the basement is a sleeping area, I can even put a family down there. No. Remember what I said. It's just like if you renting a regular house. You renting a house, just like you live in a house with your family. And when you rent a house like that with 4 or 5 bedrooms and you only got 1 bathroom, it might be an issue. But if you got 1 bathroom and a half a bathroom, somebody got to run and, just use the toilet, that's the half. But that's just like renting a regular house. Because most of your, I'm surprised you ain't familiar with this. Most of your recovery programs rent houses. They rent property until they're able to make enough money to get their own, build their own. But I'm surprised because most of your recovery programs, they are in the neighborhoods and they rent. The owners of them normally rent the houses. They might rent 5 or 6 houses in that neighborhood. Or they might rent, like my friend Charles. Charles them got a lot of houses. He might rent 3 on this block. He might have 4 on another block. And I was thinking about that when I said I'm surprised you're not familiar with that, because I know you a kidney doctor. So that's why I was like, I'm surprised. Yeah. And see what a lot of polices don't realize too, Steve, because they look at it as resident, which it is. But when you got a business in it, you can't keep you can't look at it as like landlord tenant stuff. It don't roll like that. And a lot of times they don't know. So you get somebody like me, I'm gonna try to explain it to you, because now we're looking at houses in residential areas. Now the police might not know. The reason why a lot of people do residential houses is because, number one, say like wherever you fell at from being on the smugs and all that, wherever you fell at, all right, okay. Um, say like now, God dang it, Steve, I was just that mess flying over my head now. See, the police don't know. When you have a recovery program or some type of housing program, even if it's most of your what is it for the youth too, they are in residential areas. So what the police have a tendency of doing, because it's a residential area, because it's a business, they might come at you with that residential landlord tenant stuff. And I tell them like this: no, I'm the tenant. These are my clients. Well, they got their own room. They are my clients. They are in a housing program. So they will try to apply that same not with the rooms, like somebody renting a room. No, no, no. And somebody's like a guy might have a house and you sign a lease to be there. No, that's not what this is about. I don't do leases. And the reason why I don't do leases, because you got to understand, we dealing with homeless people. So somebody, matter of fact, this happened to me twice. A female might come in and she might decide this is not really where I want to be. So 2 days later, she might want her money back. Why I'm going to make you stay? No, I don't. It's simple. It's simple. That's the goal, Steve, is really, I had 2 houses. I told you that. Now, the goal with that, Steve, is to create or build 5 of my own houses. They will be the business. But keep in mind, when you have commercial properties, a lot of people will get into these commercial buildings to do their programs out of. My clients, I just said it, Steve, I don't do a lease agreement with the clients. I just said it. I just told you that when you're dealing with the homeless and the less fortunate population, it's no guarantee they're going to stay. Come on, OG.
No, you're all right.
I had 2.
It's temporary housing.
Right.
It's just a temporary place for right now. That's all that is.
But see, I thought Steve, because we've been dealing with each other for a while, I thought Steve knew that I keep saying temporary. It's transitional. It's not permanent. Now, some people will sign you to agreement. I don't do it. because there's a good chance you might not stay.
Yeah. No, you don't have to have a lease for temporary housing. You don't have to have it. Verbal agreement is as good as a lease.
Right.
Due to the simple fact is, because if they want out of that lease, they have to wait 60 days to 90 days to get out of that lease, where if you do a verbal and you say this is only temporary, meaning you're not going to be here very long any dang old way. Meaning you're going to be in here long enough just to get through this program and get your own place.
A verbal agreement, Steve, is actually a contract too. It's not written. That's why a lot of people do your research. A verbal agreement on a rental property is just what it is. It's a month to month. It's a month to month agreement. It's verbal. So the same process, if you want to evict somebody, just like if it's a signed lease, you got to go through the process of going through the courts. It's the same things. But it's month to month. Anytime you do a month-to-month agreement, each month, you ain't going to sit back, okay, give me another lease, give me another lease, give me another lease, give me another lease, because you're wasting paper. What did I just say, Steve? Steve, if you're doing a 30-day lease, right, and if something get broke with me, I'm going to fix it. Because of the business side of what I do. The goal is to keep the property up. I cut the grass, I trim the hedges, I do all that. Now, if I'm doing the lease, any client that comes into my housing program, I'm checking on you. Because, Steve, what I do with my clients, watch this. I do a room check. My staff has to go upstairs with to check the rooms to make sure that room's nice, neat, and clean. If anything is out of way, they're going to tell me. So the goal is, I keep saying it over and over and over, to help people turn the quality of their lives around. Steve. OG, mute up for a minute, please. Steve, please listen. I have women, but I said I have women that will check the women's rooms. I know. I've been telling y'all for the longest time what I do, right? When you're dealing with the homeless and the less fortunate people, keep in mind, a lot of them that's used to sleeping in tents, they have a tendency of throwing their trash around in the tent. So when you put them in a room, if you don't check on them right, they'll start living the same way. All right, I got you. But I've been saying this for years. Even when I was under the bridge with Christina Flowers, that's how I know that a lot of people that's used to sleeping in tents. And then you got to understand too, we dealing with people that has some type of disorder. So you want to help them to be able to manage their life again as good as possible. Now, in my case, for what I'm seeing, some people you can't leave by themselves. Well, guess what? It's people in DC that's homeless too. Not just DC, Forestville, all that, Maryland, all that. So, right. So, yeah, cause I'm trying to watch it so I can get ready step up out of here. Um, See, that's why I be trying to explain to people, mainly when you're dealing with the homeless population. That's a whole different world within itself.
Yeah, Copeland, but it's not like Christina Flowers. I mean, you saying you do temporary transitional housing, and that just seems like that's a whole different aspect of what Christine Flowers do. Because if you just do temporary, I mean, somebody only can stay there a week, 3 days,
That's what I
five
was
days,
saying. That's what I was saying.
and so how do you gauge your money from them if they say, I need to leave in 5 days or I need to leave in a week? So what do you charge them? How does that look like?
Well,
How do you
actually,
make money off of somebody that's staying 7 days, or do you have a minimum that they have to stay?
when they come in, is they're going to pay for the whole month. So if you're charging them $600, when they come in, they have to pay the $600. And what I try to do with
And when they
most,
leave, do you get some of that money back? Do you what's it called? They prorate it.
no.
Just like because they do that in apartments, they prorate it.
Well, see,
So you saying you don't? So you saying that for people that's vulnerable, you make them pay $600 for the month, and if they have to leave, say a week or a week and a half, you still keep that $600. That's what you're saying.
basically, I'm gonna say yeah, but guess what? I had a lady that gave me her 400. She didn't even come into the place, and 2 weeks later, she asked for her money back. And by right, if she was in a place like you said, she wouldn't have got her money back. I gave her money, and everybody told me I shouldn't have gave her nothing. Now, this one lady last week just came into the building. She been talking to me for a while. We caught up, brought her in the building, fixed up a room for her. A couple of days later, she asked for her money back. So I told them to call Miss Deborah and tell Miss Deborah to bring me back her $600. Now, mind you, if you give me your money and you find out that later you might not really want to be here, it could be a week or two. I'll give you your money or I might prorate it. If you give me 6, I'm using it as an example. I might say you've been here 2 weeks already, I'll give you 3. But normally, if I got it to give it back like that, I'm going to give you back your money. Now, that's what I do. But a lot of other people don't do what I do. I know a guy at one spot, they took his money and told him he had 3 days to get out.
So you're saying if you got it like that, you give it back, but wouldn't your business have cash reserves to deal with situations like that?
No, that's no. That's why I normally ask people to like donate, help support, stuff like that. When I do that, because you might take that money that somebody gave you and put it somewhere else. But now, keep in mind, and I said it, when you coming into a facility that don't get government funding, that's how you pay the rent on it. That's how you pay the BGE. That's how you pay the bills. It's just like a regular house. It's a regular house. You got bills to pay. So like I said, you don't get government funding. So You use the people to help maintain that property. If you got somebody in the hotel and you know the hotel might run you $700 a week, and you got a family and you in that hotel, so you might have been in the hotel for 2 months, but you struggling to maintain that $700 a week. So if you reach out to me, most people that reach out know they got to pay that $700, but when they reach out, it's like, I ain't got no money. Well, you get ready to pay that $700 for you and your family to be there. But my thing is, I'll tell them to come, because if you paying $700 a week, 4 times 700 is what? Then I'll tell you, come on, because to me you can save money here. You in a room paying $700.
Did you just say $700 a week?
Yeah.
That's $2,800 a month. They don't have to be in your building. They can go somewhere else and pay rent. Are you talking about $700 a week? And you got 4 weeks, that's $2,800 a month.
Well, let me share this with you. They can actually stay
where
they
be staying there. They're making $700 a month. I mean, 700. If they're paying you $700 a week, why would they need to stay in temporary housing when they can go to one of those but places that got the country kitchen. I mean, the kitchenette and all that, and pay less than $700 a week.
They paying $700 a week because whatever the room,
especially, and that's a room. You're
right?
Talking about so what about with these apartments that got the kitchenette, bathroom, double bed, living area, TV, and they got everything in there, but in the rooms, they just got a room, no TV, no nothing, a dresser. Because I was going to open assisted living,
right,
for dialysis patients. I took the assisted living course and everything, and the delegate nurse course to be a delegate nurse. So I'm trying to figure out, $700 a week is $28 a month.
Now $700 a week where? Wait a minute, $700 a week where?
That's what you was just saying.
I said seven. No, I did not. I said they at the hotel paying $700 a week.
Okay, I thought you meant your home.
No. What they're doing, they're scrambling money to keep a roof over their head. So they might be at a hotel for, say, like a week or two, but they hustling or they trying to get money from family members and stuff like that. Well, anyway, when you come to me and I know you at a hotel and I know you basically paying or you trying to scramble up $700 for that week, I'll tell you come on, because now I'm only charging $600 for the room. You got the access to the kitchen, bathroom, all of that.
A week, that's only $100 less.
A month.
Oh, a month. A month. Okay. A month. Okay, got you.
I'm just laughing, right? Because, and see, keep in mind, Steve, we talking about, like, if you got a family and they might have been living somewhere and wasn't able to afford it no more and got evicted. So they either sleeping in abandoned houses, they either at the shelters, they scrambling around. So they trying to look for somewhere to have a roof over their head, and not just a roof over their head. When you got somebody that don't make a lot of money and you get them into, like, my program, you want to help them earn more, learn to get more than what they actually making. A mother might be at a job making $15 an hour. So she got a boyfriend with her. Now the boyfriend might have to watch the baby, while she go and do what she do, because he ain't trying to go nowhere. So she's scrambling to make whatever she can for them to survive. I got a family in there like that now. I got a family in there whose social service paid for their first month. Now, I got this other guy. He left. Christina got him now. Who now, mind you, I ain't even see the check yet, but I got another guy that was in there. The church paid for, but because the address wasn't nobody living in the building at 908, it goes to another place. So I don't know if the check came or not. It's supposed to have been two of them. And right now I'm at a point where I don't even. Huh?
No, I'm at work. I'm
All
sorry.
right. It doesn't matter. I mean, right now, if I get the check, that's fine because I was gonna give it to Miss Deborah anyway. Uh, cash it and give it to her. And I told her I said we got two checks coming. But she don't hear she what she want. But now if you don't, keep in mind it's independent living. So most of the people that we work with might get SSI or SSDI. They can't afford to pay $1,000 a month for a rental property. So when I do my intake. Now, you might get somebody to say, "Oh, I can afford $1,000 a month," blah blah blah. They can afford it, but a lot of times they don't have the money saved up to move into a permanent place, and that's something I got to check a little bit more closer to. Because I had a guy go look at a 2-bedroom apartment for $900. He came in.